It's actually snowing. You watching the chickens? And crossing my fingers that it all fits. Sweet stuff. And I don't really want that. Hey guys, welcome back to the van build. If you watched last week's video, you watched me, what did you watch me do? You watched me finish building my cabinet faces and installing those, and wow, it made such a difference. I'm currently sitting in my van Togo. He is a 2016 Ram ProMaster, and usually I have my dog Akela with me, but right now she's inside taking a nap. We just got back from a long run. But this week I'm working on another exciting project, and that project is kitchen space, kitchen cabinets, whatever you want to call it. So what I just did is I probably spent, I don't know, an hour sitting here and planning exactly what I want my layout to be. So I have a pretty good idea here drawn out, at least to start with. My plan is to have my countertop be 37 inches tall. As for my Dometic fridge, I am making sure that I have 2 inches in the back and on top, just 2 inches of space so that warm air can really flow through and around that fridge and make sure that there are no issues there. So since I have my plan all set for this, I'm going to start cutting and creating all of the pieces that I need to put these boxes together. It's snowing. It's actually snowing. Because it is windy and snowing, you can watch from in here.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you.
You watching the chickens?
I want you to know that every time you're away.
Pretty tough to cut some large pieces of wood on this table saw because it's it's kind of a small one and I don't have a lot of flexibility with it. So I'm gonna bring out my jigsaw and just make sure any of the cuts that I'm doing with my jigsaw are going to be not visible. So I'm gonna make sure that all table saw cuts are gonna be the ones visible from the front. All jigsaw cuts are gonna be kind of tucked away in the back.
Do you feel like we got something strong?
This is the box that will hold my fridge, which is one of the reasons why I used 3/4 inch plywood instead of 1/2 inch plywood. And this is going to be the box that will sit on top of that will actually house the fridge. So my plan now is to make one big box using the little bit of plywood that I have left, which isn't much. So this box is done, and what I'm doing right now is just clamping everything together. I'm gonna throw some screws in here to connect these two boxes. Here's the moment of truth though. We've gotta dry fit it and see how it looks when it's actually in the van. I probably should have done that with both pieces, well really all 3 pieces, and I didn't. So here I am with everything put together and crossing my fingers that it all fits. I'm gonna set you up out here first so you can watch this in real time. So I have already installed my Akela. They can't see my fridge, but I'll walk you through exactly how I did that. And I'm not gonna unplug it, I'm just gonna like lift it into what I have built, so hopefully that goes well too. Oh shit, no, that's just, okay, front seat. Nuh-uh. Does this fit perfect? Oh! Holy cats! How did I do that? It's cute! After I spend tonight sanding it all down, adding that birch veneer, staining it, protecting it, that'll just be a lot of busy work tonight. You guys have seen me do that 1,000 times. And then tomorrow the plan is to do that same thing but over here, which is gonna be a little bit trickier. We've got some work to do.
Under the palm trees in the California sun.
So what I'm doing right now to make these edges look nicer is covering them with birch veneer. So this birch veneer has adhesive on the back that you can literally just iron on to the joints of your wood or any wood surface that you want. And as you can see, it just makes it look really clean. And then I'll just go back and cut any excess off, and then with my sander, make the edges all nice and smooth. So Togo needs 3 recalls, and he was supposed to get into the shop, oh man, I don't know, 5 months ago. Another great thing about this is that I get to do a giant Home Depot run today. Maybe even one of my last for the entire van build. How exciting is that?
I didn't know I was telling a lie. It's been a long day for sure. How could I resist your smile? Can we move on as before?
One of the things that's been kind of tripping me up the most is making sure that I have designated spots that will definitely fit certain things that I need in my van. Oh, Akela's pooping. Good job! That's a good poop.
I'll let you go, just need some time.
Also, to conserve some space, I want this countertop to be as small as it can be. So right now I'm thinking about 14 inches.
I know now you'll never change your mind.
Wait a second. Shit, I put that on wrong. I put that on the bottom. Oh no. Okay, I have to fix something. This is supposed to be able to fit on here, which it is not going to do that. Please fit now. It'll work. So this corner was pretty tricky to work with, but like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to make sure that part of this kind of like second kitchen, but I really wanted something for specific storage. So my plan is to have this bottom storage to store Akela's food, and this top one I made specifically for this. This actually fits perfect. I'm looking at it from the top right now. And this is a perfect opportunity to take a little break and tell you about the sponsor for today's video. And before I tell you any of the reasons why I'm using Jackery or what I'm using them for, Jackery is having a Christmas sale and it starts December 7th, which is tomorrow by the time you're watching this. As many of you know, I work primarily online, creating content for you guys and working with clients online. So for me, being able to keep my computer, my camera, and my phone charged at all times is really important. So after I was completely done with installing all of my solar and really living in the van using the solar, I realized that one battery might not be enough. So I'm really excited to use Jackery as a portable power station so that I can work outside. I don't have to be hooked up in here in my van at all times. So that also gives me the opportunity to use an extra 200 watts of solar panels. And these I can set up anywhere. So if I'm parked under a tree or if I'm in a place that isn't very sunny and my solar panels aren't pulling a whole lot, I can set up these extra solar panels facing the sun and charge my extra battery. About 2 months ago, I had considered just purchasing a second battery for my solar setup, and I decided not to go that route because this gives me a really good split in energy, meaning that I can have my solar system running off of this battery and doing everything that I need it to do, but when I want something portable, I can then rely on my Jackery. I have had many questions about my solar setup and what I would do differently, so I wanted to make sure to come on here and tell you guys this is another option. If you don't want to worry about putting together a solar system or having solar panels on top of your roof, this is another really great option. So remember, they are starting their Christmas sale tomorrow. Go check them out. All of the details and links will be in the description below. Also, I gotta show you what wasn't planned. So yes, I did create this perfect little box to house my Jackery portable battery, but look at how perfect these fit next to my wall and behind my seat. The only thing that I need to do to make these fit better is cut back a little bit of that plastic and these will slide right in. I adjusted this a little bit more so it has an even better fit in here, and I'm just gonna keep this here and make this second box and kind of go from there.
First day of spring, and I just wanna sing to everything.
This kitchen space that is going in my doorway has been a lot trickier. The open part, of course, is going to be accessible from the inside, and this back part that doesn't look quite as pretty, I've just used some scrap pieces of wood to create this crisscross. It's nice and sturdy. This is gonna be what's visible from the outside of my van. It doesn't look pretty right now, but it'll come together eventually. Huh. All right, so there is an issue. So basically what's happening is that there's this gap. This little storage cubby is causing me a lot of grief. Still weird. Why is this so stupid? I have put it together. I was thinking about putting a drawer right here, but I kind of like this change in height, and I might treat this as a bedside table, and this is where my blueies will live. I'll throw this in here. These are the main things. Sweet stuff. Moment of truth right here. Okay, more importantly, we have to see if my rug is still gonna fit right there. Oh, does it fit? Yay! Now that I have these boxes all figured out, I'm gonna bring this inside and do all of the aesthetic stuff. Sanding, staining, protecting, birch veneer. But you guys have seen me do that many times. So I will just catch you tomorrow for the exciting stuff. So everything right now is dry fitted. So this is going to be all backsplash. This will all be drawers. This will be my water storage, sink, and of course my storage right there. I'm just going to use some heavy duty screws, screw it into my subfloor.
I know that you are having a hard time right now. That everything seems to crumble.
Good morning. There are really only 2 more things that I want to get done this week, and one of those is finishing the installation of this Dometic fridge. I have the Dometic, oh gosh, it's like the CRX50, something like that. I'll link it below. So the installation with the electrical is very simple. When I was doing my pre-wiring, I ran a 12-2 wire to this side of my van. You don't need a 12 gauge wire. I use 12 gauge for my pre-wiring because it never hurts to have something a little bit bigger, and I didn't know anything about electrical. So I used a larger gauge wire just to be safe. You'd be fine using 14 gauge wires in your walls. I just used a male and female connector, connected positive to positive, negative to negative. It was literally that simple. You're gonna notice in here these little round caps. Those pop out and you screw through those holes into the place that you're housing your fridge. It fits pretty snug, but there's still quite a bit of space on the sides, and I don't really want that. So I'm gonna probably have this be tucked right up to the side, and here I'll throw in another 1/2 or 3/4 inch piece of plywood. You do want to make sure that there's enough space for airflow on the bottom here. It's not completely flush to the floor. And I have at the very least 2 inches in the back. I probably have more than that. And about 3 inches on top. I might do like a little pull out cutting board or something. Airflow is key with these guys. I gotta screw through that? Now I'm gonna put these bad boys in both of those holes. Okay, duck screw is not going super well because, and I should have realized this, but it's got to go through that really hard plastic. So I moved to some self-tapping screws. Okay, I'm actually just gonna pre-drill. Screw this, I'm pre-drilling. Akela, I'm pre-drilling. Oh yeah. Now I just need to do the top one. Now, I'm just gonna take my plug, get it back in there. Cool. This one. Cool. Okay, now I gotta figure out this side. All right guys, I've decided that I'm going to cut down this 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and I'll slip it in there next to my fridge. But before I slip it next to my fridge and screw it on, I do want to stain it and protect it because I know that it is going to be, well, A, visible, and B, exposed to moisture from my fridge and stuff. The last thing that I want to do this week is kind of clean some of this up. So what I want to do is measure and create the panel to go on the back of this. And I want to make an office seat right here so that I can do anything I need to clean up this corner. Well, this week was quite a week. With the kitchen being basically half of your house, it feels like a really big step. So I hope that this is getting you a little bit excited for your own kitchen area, and I can't wait to show you guys next week's projects because I think it's really gonna start pulling things together. I am most excited to put my backsplash on and to cover up that dingy 1/4-inch plywood wall. And I know that you guys wanted an update on the van build cost, so this is the cost of the van build so far. This includes everything that is currently installed in the van. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. You know, there's only really a handful of videos left in my build, I think. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Sunday.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.